Somewhere between freedom and total chaos, America managed to invent 49 housing laws so weird, you'll wonder if caffeine was involved. From outlawed snowball fights to HOA light bulb inspections, this is the beautiful mess we call home. Let's see just how weird it can get. 1. In New Hampshire, you can't just leave your snowmobile basking in the sun like it's living its best life. Nope. If you're a proud owner of one of these winter beasts, the law demands you park it inside an enclosed structure. Leaving it outside on your property is seen as a neighborhood offense, right up there with an inflatable Santa that's been dead on the lawn since February. So, if you were dreaming of showcasing your prized snowmobile like some kind of frozen status symbol, you'd better rethink that garage layout. Otherwise, prepare for the HOA to unleash their fury, or worse, their paperwork. It's like they took out of sight, out of mind, and made it a legal doctrine. 2. If you're the kind of person who thinks one garden gnome is adorable but 27 is a full-blown aesthetic choice, Phoenix, Arizona has some cold desert news for you. In many neighborhoods, homeowners associations have strict rules banning excessive lawn decorations because they allegedly disrupt the visual harmony. Translation: your gnome army isn't just whimsical, it's a public menace. They say a cactus is tasteful, but where's the fun in that? Last we checked, nobody ever wrote an epic fantasy novel about cactuses waging magical wars. Phoenix, where your dreams of gnome domination are crushed under the beige boot of suburban conformity. 3. If you thought painting your house bright pink was the ultimate power move, Florida's HOA boards would like a word, or rather, a strongly worded notice. In many Sunshine State communities, your color options are limited to an inspiring palette of beach fog, taupe mirage, and is this even a color? Pink? Too spicy for the gated community crowd. Creativity here is treated like an invasive species, swiftly identified and eradicated. Want your house to stand out? Better invest in some beige-colored bravery. And remember, in Florida, blending in isn't just encouraged, it's legally enforced. Somewhere, an aspiring Barbie dream house weeps. 4. If you own a wooden deck in coastal Maine, congratulations. You also own a part-time job. Some local laws actually require you to seal or treat your deck regularly, not just as friendly advice but as a legal obligation. Fail to do it, and it's not just Mother Nature you'll be battling. It's the legal system too. With Maine's brutal winters and salty coastal air, untreated wood lasts about as long as a snowball in July. It's basically a survival of the fittest scenario for your porch. Neglect it, and your deck could go from rustic charm to hazardous collapse faster than you can say, "Where did the stairs go?" 5. In certain leafy pockets of Wisconsin, your lawn isn't just your lawn, it's a performance piece. Local rules often specify exactly what kind of grass you're allowed to grow, with Kentucky bluegrass being the crown jewel. Thinking about a trendy clover lawn for easier upkeep and better sustainability? Cute. Also illegal. Your rebellious attempt at eco-friendly landscaping might earn you more than just side-eye from the neighbors. It could get you an official complaint. Imagine being summoned over botanical choices. Only in Wisconsin could choosing the wrong grass type feel like plotting a suburban coup. 6. Dreaming of a sparkling backyard pool in Massachusetts? Great. Just don't forget the moat-like fence regulations. In many areas, the law demands a very specific height for your pool fence, plus a self-locking gate. No charming white picket shortcuts here. It's all about safety first and vibes second. Want that sleek open oasis look you saw on Pinterest? Too bad. Your backyard is now a fortress. And if you think you can get away with just a few months before installing it, the only thing you'll be swimming in is fines. Apparently in Massachusetts, the only thing easier than falling into a pool is falling into debt. 7. Love the idea of your house glowing like a UFO landing pad? Well, Vermont would like a polite word with you. In many towns, outdoor lighting has to be subtle, downward pointing, and barely brighter than a glowworm's backside. Anything that looks remotely like a stadium spotlight is treated like you're declaring war on the night sky. It's all about protecting those pristine, starry nights, and yes, it's a noble cause. But if you were hoping to turn your front yard into Times Square, you're going to have to make do with a few politely twinkling porch lights and a powerful flashlight for emotional support. 8. In Savannah, Georgia, owning a historic home sounds glamorous. until you realize you're basically married to a 19th century city inspector. Every tiny change, from fixing a cracked window pane to daring to install a new mailbox, must meet rigid historical preservation codes. Want a sleek new metal roof? Huh, good luck. Only if Paul Revere himself would have approved it. Modernizing your bathroom might seem like a basic human right, but in Savannah, it's more like a delicate negotiation with the ghosts of bathrooms past. Hope you enjoy showering with the weight of architectural guilt. 9. You'd think living in Key West would mean carefree beach vibes and wet towels draped artistically wherever you please. Think again. In parts of the island, even drying your swimsuit outdoors is a regulated activity. You can hang it, but only in designated areas. Got a rebellious streak? Prepare for neighborly stink eye or even a citation. Because nothing says relaxing island paradise quite like being scolded for letting your beach towel dry 2 feet outside the approved zone. Welcome to Key West, where even your laundry needs permission to catch a breeze. 10. In Belton, Missouri, winter fun comes with an unexpected legal plot twist. While the rest of America dreams of friendly snowball fights, here it's technically illegal to throw snowballs in residential areas. That's right, what you thought was wholesome holiday mischief is officially categorized as neighborhood anarchy. Build a snowman? Totally fine. Engage in playful, snowy warfare? You might as well start prepping your defense attorney now. It's the kind of law that makes you wonder if someone, somewhere, once took an ice ball to the face and decided, never again, and then just wrote it into the law books. 11. Thinking about setting up a charming little backyard farm in Indianapolis, Indiana? Adorable. Now grab a pen because you'll need to navigate a bureaucratic obstacle course first. You can't just let your chickens roam free without a permit. Rules are rules. Want fresh eggs? You'll also need to prove you're not about to turn your block into an episode of Green Acres City Edition. Because nothing screams freedom quite like filing 3 forms, attending 2 council meetings, and swearing under oath that your rooster won't moonlight as an early morning alarm clock for the entire neighborhood. 12. Texas may pride itself on being the land of freedom, but when it comes to Christmas lights, even the Lone Star State draws the line somewhere. In many communities, you can't just keep the holiday spirit glowing year-round like you're running a SantaCon tribute show. Some places even regulate exactly when you can start hanging lights and when you absolutely must pull the plug. Miss the takedown deadline, and it's less happy holidays and more polite threats from the HOA. Nothing says festive spirit like passive-aggressive notes about your stubbornly blinking Rudolph. 13. Thinking of setting up a cozy tarot corner in your Arkansas living room? Careful. Depending on where you live, fortune-telling at home is straight-up illegal. That's right, crystal balls, tarot spreads, maybe even your suspiciously wise cat. They're all outlawed residential companions if you're dabbling in divination. Authorities there see it less as whimsical fun and more as a public nuisance. So if you're planning to predict your neighbor's future love life over wine, maybe do it very quietly. Or risk an ironic fine for seeing it coming. Truly, only in Arkansas could harmless hocus pocus be treated like organized crime. 14. In certain parts of Kentucky, leaving a plastic lawn chair out for too long is practically a crime against humanity, or at least against neighborhood standards. You might think your $10 Walmart special is perfect for sipping morning coffee, but the HOA sees it as a visual threat to society. The rules are brutally clear. Temporary lawn furniture must either be elegant or invisible. Inflatable pools? Same fate. Basically, if your backyard looks like the set of a college tailgate party, prepare for a letter that reads less like a warning and more like a call for aesthetic reinforcements. 15. In San Diego, curb appeal isn't just a suggestion, it's practically a religion. There, a slightly overgrown hedge or a fence that looks a little too rustic could land you a fine faster than you can say weekend plans canceled. Forget kicking back with a cold drink on Saturday. You'll be outside with hedge clippers, whitewashing your picket fence under the judging eyes of your neighbors and the silent threat of HOA inspectors. San Diego, where the lawns are manicured, the fences freshly painted, and the stress levels astronomically high. 16. Dreaming of throwing a lively backyard bash under the Arizona sun? Reality check. Many Arizona neighborhoods treat noise with the same seriousness usually reserved for major crimes. Whether it's music, laughter, or the distant thud of a cornhole beanbag, if you break the decibel limit, your party could end faster than you can shout, "Free margaritas." Picture this. You finally fire up the karaoke machine, only for a stern neighbor to call in a noise complaint before your first off-key note. In Arizona, your outdoor fiesta could turn into a silent disco real quick. 17. Quitman. Georgia isn't joking around when it comes to chickens crossing the road. It's not just a punchline here, it's an actual crime. That's right. If your free-range feathered friends dare to make a run for it, you could face legal trouble. The question, why did the chicken cross the road, is less about philosophy and more about court fees. Basically, in Quitman, you're expected to keep your poultry in check like tiny feathered felons. Good luck explaining to your hen why jaywalking isn't constitutionally protected. 18. In parts of Seattle, your food scraps have bigger responsibilities than you do. Forget casually tossing leftovers into the trash. Compost bins are mandatory. Fail to compost properly, and you might just get slapped with a fine that makes your organic apple core feel like it personally betrayed you. Seattle takes eco-consciousness seriously, so seriously that your banana peel has a legal destiny. The compost bin isn't a suggestion, it's a commandment. Somewhere, a city inspector is judging your potato peels right now. 19. In many New York State communities, fences aren't just a privacy measure. They're a neighborhood performance. Local ordinances often require that the good side, the smooth, finished, Instagram-worthy part, faces your neighbors or the street. Meanwhile, the ugly structural side is your problem to look at. It's basically passive-aggressive architecture. Your property might be your castle, but the castle walls better look polished for the neighbors, or you'll get more side-eye than an unshoveled sidewalk in February. 20. Boulder. Colorado has officially outlawed sitcom-style living. There, no more than 3 unrelated people can legally live together under one roof. So if you and your 4 best friends had dreams of splitting rent and living your friend's fantasy? Nope. According to Boulder, the 4th roommate might as well be a ticking time bomb of broken furniture, unpaid utilities, and probable moral collapse. Apparently, in Boulder, too many friends is considered a gateway to societal meltdown. 21. Thinking about adopting a pet goat in Nevada? Adorable idea. And completely illegal in many residential zones. Even the tiniest, most Instagrammable lawn mowing goat could get you fined faster than it could munch through your garden. Local laws treat even miniature livestock like a full-blown farm invasion. So unless you live in an agriculture-zoned area, your dream of goat yoga in the backyard will have to stay a fantasy. In Nevada, it's not about how cute or useful your goat is. It's about how many rules it can accidentally violate just by chewing grass. 22. Louisiana is serious about its historical vibe, down to the light bulbs. In certain charming districts, even outdoor lighting must match the look of the 1800s. LED floodlights? Only if they're cosplaying as vintage gas lamps. If your porch glows like a NASA landing zone, expect a polite but deadly serious notice telling you to get right with the spirit of the 19th century. It's the only place where you can be fined for your light bulbs being too modern. Basically, if your house doesn't look like it's ready for a ghost tour at night, you're doing it wrong. 23. Vermont's picture-perfect villages don't just happen by accident. They're maintained by sheer force of law and gallons of beige paint. In some neighborhoods, it's a legal requirement to keep your home's exterior spotless. No peeling paint, no broken shutters, no charming but technically dangerous porch sag. Rustic is fine, but it better be sanitized rustic. Vermont doesn't want your house to look like the setting for a horror movie. Unless, of course, it's a really aesthetically pleasing horror movie with a strong emphasis on tasteful window boxes. 24. Alaska's remote beauty comes with some surprisingly fussy neighborhood rules. In certain areas, satellite dishes, the literal lifeline to television, the internet, and human civilization, must be hidden out of public view. That's right. You can live 200 miles from your nearest neighbor, but your dish still better be discreetly tucked away like it's plotting an escape. Good luck explaining that to the bears. Apparently, preserving the untouched wilderness also includes shielding unsuspecting moose from the horror of a slightly crooked DirecTV dish. 25. In Maine, even your house number is under surveillance. Some towns require homeowners to display clear, visible numbering or face fines. It doesn't matter if your house has been standing proudly, unbothered, since the 1700s. Without a bright, easy-to-read address, you're officially a menace to emergency services. Forget tax evasion. Here, the real rebellion is refusing to hang a giant reflective number plaque next to your lovingly restored vintage mailbox. It's a thrilling life of crime, one brass numeral at a time. 26. Texas might be all about big trucks and bigger hats, but some suburban communities get very delicate when it comes to driveway decor. In several neighborhoods, basketball hoops are forbidden unless you want to risk hefty fines and HOA side-eye. Spontaneous 3-on-3 games? Not on their pristine concrete, thank you very much. Apparently, the sight of a basketball hoop is enough to send the entire aesthetic of suburban serenity spiraling into chaos. Better hope your kids like golf. 27. If you're planning on unleashing your inner artist on your fence in Charleston, South Carolina, prepare to have your creativity squashed faster than you can say historic district. Bright colors are strictly off-limits in many areas. Think muted whites, dignified grays, and historically accurate shades of invisible. Want your fence to pop with neon green? Congratulations! You've just triggered a full-scale preservationist panic attack. In Charleston, even your fence is expected to look like it's got a minor role in a Revolutionary War drama. 28. In Wyoming, your need for privacy comes second to the sacred right to gaze at a mountain for 4 uninterrupted hours. In certain areas, it's illegal to build a fence that completely blocks a scenic view. So if you're fantasizing about a 10-foot-tall Great Wall of mind-your-own-business, think again. Wyoming law says the landscape must reign supreme. Translation: you can hide from your nosy neighbor a little, but not enough to deprive them of their God-given right to stare at a sunset over your backyard barbecue. 29. In Colorado's mountain communities, cutting down a Christmas tree from your property isn't just a festive rite of passage. It's also the beginning of a legally monitored countdown. Once the holiday magic fades, you are required to properly dispose of that tree. Letting it turn into a crispy fire hazard in your yard? That's a one-way ticket to a fine. Apparently, in Colorado, the spirit of Christmas ends exactly when the law says it does. You can have mistletoe and holly, but you better have a wood chipper ready by January. 30. Fancy an outdoor bubble bath under the stars? Pine Bluff, Arkansas would like you to sit down, preferably not in a tub on your front lawn. Here, plopping bathtubs outside is a punishable offense. Why? Because at some point, enough people thought bathtub in the yard screamed luxury lifestyle rather than please send help. It seems redneck spa days became too popular, and the city decided it had suffered enough. Outdoor bathing, fun for Instagram, illegal for real life. 31. Living in Hawaii sounds like paradise, but even paradise comes with a dress code. For your house. In certain neighborhoods, exterior paint colors must blend with the natural environment. Translation: your dream of a neon pink beach bungalow? Mercilessly crushed by the HOA. Earth tones only. Think volcanic ash gray, sand beige, or jealousy of your neighbor's better paint compliance brown. Hawaii wants your house to whisper serene island retreat, not scream Miami nightclub. 32. In North Dakota, unfinished dreams rust faster than you can say restoration project. Here, if you leave a broken-down vehicle on your property for more than 30 days, you could face fines or a surprise tow. That half-dismantled '68 Camaro you promised to fix one day? It's now officially considered urban blight. North Dakota, where procrastination isn't just a lifestyle hazard, it's a legal liability. 33. Montana adores its wildlife. From a distance. In some residential areas, feeding deer, birds, or any cute forest critter is strictly forbidden. Why? Because what starts with Bambi nibbling an apple slice ends with a full-grown grizzly flipping your patio furniture. Turns out a bear crashing your barbecue isn't a quirky small-town headline. It's a public safety nightmare. So if you're feeling generous with snacks, stick to humans. They're only slightly less dangerous. 34. Ohio believes fences should look a certain way, specifically short and neighborly. If you're planning to build a towering wall to keep prying eyes and passive-aggressive comments at bay, tough luck. Many communities regulate both the height and style of your fence. They want charming picket fences, not medieval fortresses, because nothing says friendly neighborhood like legally forcing you to stay visible to everyone you were trying to avoid in the first place. 35. In parts of Alabama, good taste isn't just suggested, it's enforced. And by good taste, they mean whatever the HOA woke up feeling judgmental about that day. Dreaming of painting your house neon green? Want a 12-foot lawn gnome holding an American flag and a slice of pie? Hope you've also got a very persuasive lawyer. Without a clear definition of what counts as tasteful, you're basically decorating under threat of public shaming. Welcome to Alabama, where art is subjective, but HOA rage is absolute. 36. Arizona's love affair with HOA rules runs deep, but one of the oddest gems? Some neighborhoods ban non-portable basketball hoops. The goal is a clutter-free driveway, but let's get real. Who's dragging a 200-pound hoop in and out of the garage every day? It's not shoot some hoops after work, it's hope you have a forklift handy. Basically, unless you're planning on treating your basketball games like secret pop-up events, you're better off sticking to something less controversial like chess. Silent, HOA-approved chess. 37. In Montana's ranching communities, your fence is more than just a decorative boundary. It's a full-time security system against cattle invasion. Even if you don't own a single cow, it's your legal duty to maintain the barrier that keeps someone else's mooing property off your hydrangeas. So when a herd wanders onto your lawn, congratulations, it's your problem now. Life in Big Sky Country, where the views are endless, and so are the unexpected responsibilities involving livestock you've never met. 38. Owning a historic home in Massachusetts comes with a free side of bureaucracy. Want solar panels? Only if they're sneakier than a colonial spy ring. Many historic commissions demand that your roof remains visually faithful to, say, Paul Revere's fashion sense. Modern roofing materials, visible tech, anything that screams progress? Forbidden. Your house must look like it's still waiting for the British to show up, even if it's busy binge-watching Netflix inside. 39. In Minneapolis, Mother Nature is the enemy, and the lawnmower is the hero. Letting your grass grow over 8 inches isn't just lazy, it's illegal. Dreaming of a whimsical, meadow-like front yard? Too bad. The city sees it as the beginning of an apocalyptic weed uprising. So while you might imagine yourself as a free-spirited steward of urban nature, Minneapolis imagines you as public enemy number 1 and sends you a fine with your next daisy chain. 40. Virginia's historic neighborhoods have a very clear message. Suffer stylishly. Window air conditioners are banned in many areas because, apparently, nothing ruins colonial charm faster than a sweaty little box sticking out of a sash window. Want to cool your house down in the sweltering summer? Better fork over the money for central air, or perfect the ancient art of strategically placed fans and praying for a breeze. Because comfort is nice, but appearances are everything. 41. Florida may be the land of casual sandals and pool floats, but inside gated communities? It's a dictatorship of appearances. In some places, you're not even allowed to park your car in the driveway overnight. Garage or bust. Unless, of course, you drive something so pristine it practically sparkles under the streetlights. Otherwise, your perfectly functional Honda Civic must be hidden like a shameful family scandal. It's not just parking, it's survival of the glossiest. 42. In New Orleans, historic preservation is less of a guideline and more of a sacred commandment. Planning to fix your rotting shutters? Better hope you love vintage wood and paying triple for authentic materials. Want to repaint your house something lively? Forget it. You'll be handed an approved color palette so dull it makes oatmeal look edgy. In New Orleans, your home isn't just where you live. It's a public museum exhibit you maintain at your own expense. 43. Rhode Island may be the smallest state, but when it comes to lawn pride, they've got rules bigger than Texas. In some neighborhoods, watering schedules are strictly enforced. You get assigned specific days to hydrate your grass. Miss your slot, and your lawn starts resembling a sun-scorched wasteland while your neighbors water theirs with smug precision. It's not just about keeping green, it's about winning the silent, passive-aggressive war of suburban landscaping. In Rhode Island, even your sprinkler system has a curfew. 44. In certain parts of Mississippi, garbage cans are treated like shameful family secrets. You're allowed to display them only on trash day. After that, they must vanish like a magician's rabbit. One rogue trash bin left out past curfew, and suddenly your charming street looks like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. To avoid public disgrace and possible fines, you better be faster at hiding your garbage than a raccoon on a sugar rush. Mississippi, where even your rubbish must have manners. 45. Thinking about installing solar panels in Alabama? First, better ask permission like you're trying to borrow the neighbor's lawnmower. In some neighborhoods, your solar dreams can be crushed because your panels disrupt the aesthetic. Saving the planet is great and all, but heaven forbid you mess up the visual harmony of identical beige roofs. Nothing says cutting-edge technology quite like needing approval from a committee still arguing over mailbox designs from 1997. 46. Planning to add a peaceful koi pond to your backyard in Idaho? Adorable. Now grab a pen. You're going to need permits. That tranquil water feature could be classified as a regulated structure depending on size, depth, or just someone's bad mood at City Hall. Want to avoid paperwork, fees, and a soul-draining battle with local bureaucracy? Stick to a birdbath. Idaho, where building a pond is basically entering into an administrative triathlon. 47. Dreaming of a productive Sunday morning mowing the lawn at 8 a.m. in New Jersey? Bad idea unless you enjoy spontaneous visits from local law enforcement. Thanks to strict noise ordinances, firing up your mower before a certain time can result in actual legal trouble. So if you're an early bird itching to trim the grass, maybe just make coffee, enjoy a quiet existential crisis, and wait for the clock to hit legal mowing o'clock. Silence is golden, especially before noon. 48. In Salem, Oregon, leaving your garage door open for too long isn't just lazy, it's practically criminal. Homeowners can be fined if their garage door hangs open more than a few hours. The logic? Open garages attract raccoons, burglars, and apparently the existential dread of HOA inspectors. Fresh air? Freedom? Forget it. In Salem, your garage is a fortress, and you better treat it like the gateway to Narnia you're desperately trying to hide. 49. Ever dreamed of building a treehouse that would make architectural magazines weep with joy? In parts of Oregon, prepare to have those dreams cut down, literally. Treehouses taller than one story often require permits, inspections, and sometimes even neighbor approval. So unless you enjoy filling out forms while sitting on a ladder, your childhood fantasy might be flagged as a code violation. Oregon, where even Peter Pan needs to apply for building permits. Who knew the biggest threat to freedom was a rogue basketball hoop or an overly confident lawn chair? Tell me, which of these rules made you want to move to a deserted island immediately? Drop your favorite in the comments, and subscribe if you're ready for even more gloriously ridiculous American realities.